All right, let's boogie here. Um, I want to welcome people here. First thing I want to mention is that every Wednesday, uh, once again, we're going to be offering, now that we've had our break, we're going to be offering the gathering. And it's a time that people can ask questions. And also, it's a time that uh, we're, uh, there'll be some healings. And if there's time, at the very end, we'll have a really short meditation that might last for 1 or 2 minutes or something like that. All right, so, and that's every Wednesday, and there's no charge for it, of course. And then the next healing circle is, yeah, thanks for putting that up there, Lynn. I appreciate that. And the next healing circle is January 12th, and that's every other Tuesday. And it'll be mostly for just working with people. And I will work with some people on the gathering on the Wednesdays, but every other Tuesday is strictly the healing circle. And there's no charge for that as well. And on the 18th, um, if you could put this up as well. I don't know if did you get all the information in there, Lynn, for the workshop on the 18th at noon. I believe it's the 18th, if I'm correct here. It's a 4-day workshop on the art of healing. I highly recommend it. Yes, it is. It's the 18th all the way through the 21st, an hour and a half a day. It's exceptional and really advanced work for the new person and for anyone who's been to any of my classes or apprenticeship trainings or anything. So please do take advantage of that. And I'll be going into whole different worlds of understandings that I haven't pretty much talked about at all. So do take advantage of going to that class, that workshop. And it's online. And if anyone needs help financially with that, let me know or let Lynn know. At can you put your email address, Lynn, please? It's admin@markehrlichs.com, and Lynn knows to help people that can't financially afford. But if you can, please take advantage of this. And all the other classes and events are free, and the workshops are, they do cost. But Lynn knows how to give a good discount on these things and to help people with that. So, let me see here. The workshop itself is on the art of healing, and as I mentioned, it's advanced. And I'll be talking about the body's consciousness. I'll be teaching about that, and every day there'll be exercises. And I'll also teach you simple applications of working with the healing. And so, again, for the last time, take advantage of it if you can, please. And everything there that I do in Zoom or Facebook Live will have a replay on it. And so if you miss something, it'll be available to you. And as many times as you want to replay it. And all the replays I know are on Facebook. Let me see here. Is there anything else? Lynn is my assistant. She's the hub of the whole operation, basically. And she gets everything done. She helps me in many, 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 many ways. And people write her and can communicate with her, and she just, she likes it, I think. So I'm pretty sure she does. She's excited to answer questions if you may have. And again, her email address is admin@markehrlichs.com. ADMIN. So let me see. Oh, you are putting stuff up. I didn't even see this. Allison's here. Yay! Hi, Allison. Good to see you. Good to see you. And there we go. Um, Please feel free to post or ask questions uh, on the understandings of spirituality or healing that I might be able to answer. I will do everything I can to give you answers from within myself and to elaborate on them. If you should have any questions at all pertaining to healing or spirituality, that's what this is for. So please don't hesitate. And no question is foolish. Foolish. Yeah, good to see you too, Allison. And I really appreciate your being here. And I hope that I've been able to help you. Um, yeah, Lynn's saying hello. Yay! Hey, Lynn. Yay! Love it. Um, and then, again, ask what you would like on the top on topics pertaining to the healing and spirituality. But another thing, if you have any specific mentions of free classes that I can do pertaining to any form of spirituality, excuse me, let me take that back, any form of healing uh, that I work with, or something, a topic you would like to know about, let me know or let Lynn know. And um, I'll take a look at it and see if I want to address it, and then I'll give them a little mini talk on it. And every couple of weeks, I do a mini talk as part of the mini series. They're free classes that are offered as well. Um, and if you should need also the financial assistance, say for a workshop, you know, do ask Lynn, as I mentioned, please. Very important. I don't want anyone to miss this or any of the classes for because of that reason. And or you can call me directly, and my phone number is, and Lynn will put this up. My contact number is 888-380-6388. Between normal human hours, I'll answer the phone, and otherwise my phone's on silent, and I don't get it until the next morning. And there's another thing that I want to talk about, and I think this is really important. The first topic I'll mention about this is, or the first line that I want to express, is that approximately 1/3 of all children, 1/3 of all children are not getting proper food. I'm not only talking about nutrition, but I'm also talking about quantity of food to fill them. That 1/3 in this country, which is totally amazing. I do whatever I can. Sometimes I'll give people money uh, that I see that are really hurting. I can usually tell. And other times I'll give them food. You know, I'll go to the store and get food when they're still standing there. And so I'll do whatever I can. And I just give it freely. I'm not a 501c3. So what I do, instead of asking for donations, because I'm not legally a 501c3, I ask people to please, if you can, go to my site, and there's a place there that you can gift or gift support. And I just can't help but to give. It's a part of my nature. So please, if you want to give something, and I'm not even using this money to support myself or to, support our activities or for the development or anything. I'm just using it for these people. If you have, a spare couple bucks, gift it or support us, please. Very important. Let me see here if there's anything else. Thanks for putting that up, Lynn. And before I get to the questions, let me see here. I do see people in appointments. Take advantage of them. They're hour appointments, and if you need help in the appointment financially, if you really, really need help, give me a call and I'll work with you on the cost of the appointments. So don't feel that you're left out of that. Not at all. Please don't feel that. And let's see. Ah, I don't know what else to talk about here. All right. So, uh, yes, thanks, Lynn. I appreciate that. All right. Let's get to, say, a question here. Let me find the first one. Oh, I don't want to spill my water on my keyboard. There we go. Setting it up on my keyboard. All right. The first question is yeah, it was good to see you too, Allison. All right. How do we focus on the world we want when what we see um, is so yucky? Well, we have to make our minds up of what we want in our lives. And I think that it's whatever we put our focus on in our life, but we have to be ardent focusers. We have to be ardent in our, we have to make up our mind and stick to it of what we're choosing in our life. I think that's the most important thing in the world. We could be so scattered. We see all these things happening around us, and it's just not going to, hack it because we're splitting ourselves up in so many different directions. We have to stop ourselves and say, no, I'm not going to deal with this, even if it's bombarding us. But you have to have something else to deal with when you're not dealing with that. So what I suggest is making up your mind to deal with something, still knowing that the other is there. We don't have to negate it, or we don't have to, go like this, or avoid it in any way, because then we're reacting and we're just going to participate in it. And so, uh, yeah, at the moment. So when these things are coming to us, uh, and bombarding us in our lives in the world, and um, and they're not pleasant, we can choose to do something else in place of that. We can choose to have a pattern in us, or create a pattern of creating something creative, something that's giving, something that's forgiving. We can create a pattern of developing ourselves. We can create whatever pattern we want in our life. And so it's up to us. And then we find at that moment those things that are so-called yucky in the world. Uh, they're not going to bombard us with the yucky feelings and thoughts and patterns and keep us retained in it. It's up to us to determine what we want in our lives and how far we want to go with these newer things. Just as easy, we can get a pattern just as easily as we developed a destructive pattern. But we don't realize that developing a destructive pattern was more difficult than it is to create a constructive pattern. It's more difficult because we have all these resistances and the negations of life. We have all these things that we're trying to defend ourselves with, egotistically or morally, or in a control way. They don't really mean much when we stop to take a look at those things. So we have a choice in our life what we want to do in our life. And if we can create something constructive, it's so much easier without denying those other things exist, because we live in this world. And so, if we live in this world, why not blend both worlds, earth and heaven, together, in my perspective? And so, in bringing the so-called heaven together, we can create something creative with us. Another aspect of that is also not necessarily participating in those things, even though we know they exist. But what we can do is we can become indifferent, not in a cold way, but indifferent where we're not participating in those things. We become indifferent by becoming also objective uh, and not reacting, because that's all we're doing is reacting. And so, if we can think of, say, when something's happening with us, if we can stop ourselves for a moment. Oh, Mark said, I don't have to be reactive. I wonder what that means. So, if you're thinking about how not to be reactive, we find we're not participating in the destructive anymore. I hope all this makes sense. I truly, truly do. So that's a good question. I tried to answer it the best that I could, Allison. And so we don't have to necessarily, in other words, participate in at the moment, yuckiness of life, and we can choose to think of whatever else we want to think of and participate in, as long as we're not negating or being resistant to the other, because the other's still going to exist. If we're being resistant, we're just putting it off and we're hiding it for the time. We don't want to hide anything. We want to be objective that we're not participating in that destructive. So I really hope that makes sense for you, Allison. And then she asks, how do I get my son off of pharmaceuticals eventually? It depends. If he's on pharmaceuticals, then I'm assuming that it's a doctor script, and you know they must be giving the pharmaceuticals to him if it is a doctor, um, uh, for a reason, and you want to have something else to supplement if he isn't on the pharmaceuticals that could be addictive in his life. And the only way to really come off of pharmaceuticals, if it's script, is to wean off very gently under medical advice of what to wean off and how long it's going to take, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know the situation, um, uh, but if it's not a script, then I might be able to help him in an appointment. I don't know. I never know with anyone. And I've worked with and taught approximately 25 to 35,000 people over the years, as I always say. And so it might be more, it might be less, I don't know. But most people tell me that something has changed in their life. So I might be able to contribute to that. And I always tell everyone I don't know. I pretty much leave it up to God. Um, but I would also like to recommend this Art of Healing workshop coming up. Um, I'll be talking about similar things, not necessarily pharmaceuticals, but I will be talking about self healing as well as working with other people. And I'll be giving techniques that are pretty, out there that seem to work when I work with people. So, good question. Good question. And I truly hope you were able to attend the Art of Healing workshop coming up on the 18th of January this month. Lynn, if you have any issues with gifting, please reach out to her. Yeah, please, please. And uh, we had one person that was having a difficult time, so. Uh, but hopefully it's corrected, and hopefully it was her system that was being given a difficult time to her. Hey, Patty, how you doing, my dear friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, and Happy New Year to everyone. Um, um, blessings to you in every way, every way. Ellison, it is true that one person in alignment is more powerful than a million who are not. So true. So true. If you keep your focus, you're affecting a million people in your environment. If you keep your way straight in your life, it takes on greater and greater empowerment. And with the empowerment, it's the power, the force, and the energy that we're emanating out from us. And people are affected. It's that simple. And we may not see it immediately, or we may see it immediately. But the more you practice it, the more it becomes a part of you, and the more it emanates forth from you, that you're able to do that, affect people in life without even knowing it, without even knowing it. I remember one time, many, many years ago, uh, I I had a bunch of friends that went to this particular bar, and when I was real young, a lot younger, I should say, and uh, I walked in one day, and there was this guy that I hadn't seen for maybe a month or two. Said, "Hey, Mark." I said, "Hey, how are you doing?" Whatever his name was, and I, grabbed him by the shoulder. Good to see you. Good to see you. And then I went on and I got a beer, you know, and that's what you do in a bar. You get a beer, not a glass of milk. And so um, he came up to me later, and I was so glad to see him. I remembered that, when I was hugging him. He was a dear friend of mine. And so later on, he came up to me and he said, "Mark, I didn't say it at the time. It kind of shocked me, but when you put your arm around my shoulder there and grabbed my shoulder, it was just, uh, I had an injury prior to that, and it's all gone now. It went when you took your hand off. It went away." And I said, "Wow, that's really great. And I'm so glad to hear that." But what's happening is, when we're not aware, when we're not conscious, or purposely trying to do something, so many great things happen. And it's just a natural event. We don't have to look for enlightenment. The true enlightenment is when we go through hell, and because we have something to compare to, and we have an awakening that brings us out of that hell, and as minor or subtle or as major as it is. And so here we have this great opportunity to just be ourselves, and just enjoy ourselves. And in that enjoyment, we're affecting a lot of people. But our place is to maintain that. That's where we're meeting earth and heaven together. And so it's up to us, you know. If we're not so diehard and trying to figure this out or trying to figure that in spirituality or whatever, if we can have those questions and wonder about things, let them come to us. Let them come to us. The other side wants to share as much as we want to share from within ourselves. The other side wants to share just as much as we want to share within ourselves, with other people. So if it happens naturally, that's where you're going to have the greatest effect. Uh, the world according to Mark, as I always say. So um, let's see here. So we are affecting, a million people. Uh, so right on, Elson. Elson also wrote, "My daughter is flying from Canada to us, and things are getting crazy. We have a plan to rescue her if something goes wrong." Great. I'm so glad. Blessings to you, and God bless you. God bless you. I think that's awesome. And meet her at the border, pick her up and drive her home. Yeah, whatever. And Allison wrote, "Yes, thank you. Yes, yes, yes." Meredith, hi. Oh, my dear. Good to see you. Washington State. Oh, my God. I understand you guys are getting a lot of rain. I don't know if you have snow yet, like Canada has. Canada is buried, I understand, and you can't even walk to your well outside. Isn't that correct, Lynn? So, Allison wrote, um, "It's because of OCD, and I think they make things worse." Yes, I understand. Um, I think they make things worse in long run, cause anxiety and depression. Yes, the medications. I understand that, but if you can find supplemental, if you prefer the medical regimen, if you can find supplemental stuff. Um, and, um, you know, I have worked with some people with OCD, and I also have it. So, obsessive compulsive behavior. I love it. I enjoy my OCD, and I brag about it for different things. But I know it's extreme for some people, and it seems and feels and looks like it's out of balance at times as well. And I feel that sometimes that can even be corrected. Not all the time, depending upon the lineage and what it's for and stuff. Sometimes it could be a gift, and there's a lot of beauty uh, in various things as well. The emotional disorders and the mental disorders, or the neurological disorders. Sometimes there's true beauty in those things, and so, but sometimes it can't be worked with. Uh, so, and let me see here. Okay. Um, Good. I hope you do attend Allison, the Art of Healing workshop. It's going to be fantastic, well worth it, and it'll be really advanced stuff, but it'll be made simple that you won't even realize how advanced it is. It's different from whenever I've taught. Some of the things are the same, of course, but most of it in the class, the workshop, will be different, and that'll be on the 18th. And talk to Lynn, please. So cool. Meredith, no snow, lots and lots of rain. Oh my God. Sometimes I'll look at the weather map and I see these huge green blobs over Seattle or coming towards Seattle. So I understand, Meredith. Oh my God. A lot of rain. She put two little clouds up there with 3 drops coming from each. That means a lot. That's intense. And so, all right. And I don't know if Canada's getting tons of snow. But in any case, all right. Would anyone? We have some time here. Would anyone like for me to do one thing in working with them? Nothing with the emotional. I don't want to spew everyone else's stuff out in front of everyone. So if there's one thing that I can work with, physiological, biological, neurological, an injury, a chronic situation, or whatever, please let me know. I would love to work with you. One thing, if you have an ache or pain or whatever, I can do that. We have some time here. Tell me, anyone here, please. Everyone's painless, discomfortless. uh, all right, come on. Someone give me a hint on something to work with here. I'd love to. And if there's one thing, and if anyone here missed the the first 15 or 20 minutes of this, I said a lot of stuff. So please go over the replay of it when it's up on Facebook in about 5 minutes or less after I've closed out. Allison, okay, back and numb leg. All right, what I'd like to do. Also, the first thing I got, Allison, right at, let me see if I can stand up and show you this. Right in here, right here, maybe a quarter of an inch below your belt line, or my belt line, is if you press in, it's going to be tender on that side. So, and also going to the side of the buttocks, and also on the let me see here, the camera's reversed so it's difficult, right in the middle of the spine to the middle of the hip there. It's also tender in there. So if tell me if I'm correct, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with that a little bit. And I know these things because I can see them. As soon as you brought it up, a picture comes to mind. And it's hearing and seeing. It's through the knowing that it happens. And I'll be teaching this also in the workshop. It's a varying degrees. Yes, she said. Okay, and it's the butt. The butt is tight. Yes, and so I'm going to work with that. And you tell me if you sense something happen. Let me have a sip of water first. All right. You tell me if the healer's osteopathic helped. It's better, but not gone. Okay. Tell me if you sense something happen in your body, and be cognizant. And it might be real subtle or it might be real dramatic. Please. Yes, hip and butt. Yes. This might be a little different for you. There was just a little flow. And my perception is that it went further down the leg, if I'm correct. Let's work a little bit more with it. And it's still tender where the spinal column is. I know that. Right at that, right below the belt line there. And there's a nerve coming off of it, which is the affected nerve. And it was through irritation. Um, as weird as it sounds, even when we're sleeping, we can develop an irritation in our spine. Yes, good, Allison. Good. And this will help to set a new pattern in that. So I'm going to do something a little bit different here. There's a flow. All right, Allison, if you can do me a favor, please. Um, and if you can start to stand up and then sit back down and move around a little bit, tell me if you notice any difference yet, please. Be candid. And you may or may not, which is fine. It might be a little, it might be a lot, it might be none. But you'll tell me, please. Stand up and move around a little bit, please. I'd appreciate that. Ah, and tell me real briefly if you notice a difference in the way that you're feeling there. And don't do it too much. Don't analyze it. Don't critique it. Don't try to figure it out or anything else. Just real quick. And please let me know. And I'll wait for another moment and then I'll go to someone else. Please let me know. And if you can type it real quickly if you notice anything yet. Otherwise, I'm just going to run to someone else here. All right. Lynn, my daughter broke her wrist. Oh, poor baby. And now needs a plate put in. Could you please speed up her healing? That would be much appreciated. Oh, I would do everything I can. Like the young people don't have enough to contend with already, and she has to break her wrist. Probably from digging a well to do the clothes. Okay. All right, Lynn, I sure did. And let me see here. And please keep me updated how your daughter's doing. I really appreciate that as well. All right, Patty. Ah, there you go. Working too many hours. Oh my God. At work, my left arm to neck to fingers have been affected. Okay. Tight muscles, sore tendons, tickling on the fingers. Oh. Um, all right. Let me work with your left arm, neck to the fingers, the whole ball game, all the way down. All right. You know what I keep getting, Patty, is that it's you know, it's really important when you're not working to do another activity um, that you're not using the same motion. Because what's happening also is your arms folded, I think. And as your arms folded, that's creating a limited blood flow, and which is also affecting the muscles and the nerves and the tendons and everything else, whatever's in there, the tissue, whatever. So it's really important to uh, have another activity where your arms are going out that will redevelop. A simple activity could be a sport, it could be a craft of some kind, something where your not, arms aren't like this or like this, because that's limiting the flow of the blood and compressing the nerves and all like that. But having an arm out will also I saw that specifically for you, Patty. So that will contribute to the healing as well. Uh, and what I did was being able to see that was my gift to you, and to tell you that, and to also work with it where it will easily rectify once you start that other activity, even though we initiated it to happen. So please do keep that in mind. And let me see here. Um, uh, Allison feels good, but I feel left ache a bit. Okay. And we'll see if that doesn't expedite the healing process for you, either immediately or over a short period of time, Allison. And so, God bless you. God bless you. All righty. Lynn, nope, walking the dog. She slipped on the ice, hidden below the snow. Oh no. I'm telling you, Canada has ice and snow. Canada has it. You got to stay away during the wintertime. So, and no digging the wells, huh? Oh, all right. Um, let me see here. Uh, yes, Patty, it does make sense. Yes, please. And it's very specifically for you that I saw that. Another thing that, we have time here. So, is there any, first of all, is there anyone else that would like me to work with them with anything? I'd be more than happy to. Um, I won't diagnose, I won't prescribe, I don't tell anyone they're healed. I let people pretty much tell me what the situation is. And that's the way it's always been. If I see something, I'll share it with you, like I've been doing, little things. Uh, and if they're major things, I save them for the appointments and stuff. But is there anyone that would like me to work with them for one thing in their body? I would love to. Um, Please. All right. And if not, anyone want to ask any questions or make any comments that I can try to elaborate on or give you answers from the world according to Garth Mark? I'd be more than happy to pertaining to healing and spirituality. So anything, please, anyone. Uh, we is there, let me see here. Lynn, is there anything with you or Meredith, please? Meredith, please, anything that I can work with here that you can share with me. I would love very much to. All right. Um, you know, and I'll talk about this in the workshop, and I'll be elaborating on this a whole lot. Matter of fact, in the Art of Healing workshop coming up on the 18th. I remember many, 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 many years ago when I was living in an older house. Um, um, I had done something, so my teacher assigned me to the chapel to live for either 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 months. I don't even know how long because there was no time. I just lived there day and night, and I was on silence and in seclusion. And I couldn't talk, and I couldn't be a part of all the activities in the house or outside doing my thing or whatever. And so I was living literally in seclusion and silence in this chapel area. And so one day my mother called and someone came running up to get me and um, and so I went downstairs and that was the first time I had talked in a few months at that time. And I said, hello. And she says, it's me. You have to come home. I said, why? And here I am in Boston and they're in Chicago, my parents. And so I um, said, what's wrong? And she says, well, your dad, he was just taken to the hospital. The ambulance took him, and they don't know what's wrong with him. He's sick, and he's getting worse and worse, and the doctor's afraid that it might kill him. And I, and I real, I thought about it, and I said, Mom, let me call you in the morning, and we'll make arrangements from then on. And she was mad. And so rightfully so too, I guess. But I had to, do something. I didn't know what it was, but I had to do something, and it wasn't running to Chicago, even though my dad was definitely sick. And so she didn't say where he was. It was just at a hospital. And so I just immediately went before this little shrine, this altar, and I started praying to God. And I called upon a specific angelic, who it doesn't matter, and I won't say. But right then, I saw myself shoot out of me and go into, within a second or two, maybe 2 seconds. Here I am in Boston, and they're in Chicago, and I saw myself within 2 seconds shoot through the seventh story window into my dad's bed and into him, and I saw him from laying down go like that, and then as soon as that happened, I shot back into myself, and I felt it come back into me. And so I've learned that we don't have to be at a specific place, and that's what I teach people and how to function with that. We don't have to be right there, and I share as much as I can with y'all, and I teach that as well. So, it's the idea that we have these abilities within us that are given to us by God, and because we're an aspect of God, we have that within us. We have the ability to develop in that consciousness as much as we can. Of course, we live in this third dimensional world, in this little orb that's moving in space around other orbs and stuff, and so but we're the only beings in this universe that carry that consciousness of free will to be able to develop these things. So, all right, I just want to share that with y'all. And Allison, do you think God will win this war? It's all within God. So it's already won, and it's helping us to develop. That's what my perception is. Everything that is happening is helping us to develop, and it's almost like the war is the resistances of getting to know ourselves, getting to know the divinity within, the godliness within. And what we're doing is learning to develop into that, to awaken to that. And we have to have these experiences in order to do it because we're not participating in it now. So we're learning how to. And we have to have comparisons, though. That's how we relate, that's how we identify. And my perception of things. Once again, the world according to Garth Mark. So, and I hope that answers your question. Uh, Lynn says, I have a friend who is suffering from burnout. Been there, done that. Is it possible for a blessing for her? Yes. Yes, because I can relate to that. So, uh, let me see here. You don't even have to tell me your name, Lynn. She also experiences at times the anxieties and depressions, two opposite poles there, but um, but they feed each other. So I want to ask a blessing on her. Such a warrior. Yes. All right. One second. All right. Good. Please do keep me updated on what you know. And are vaccines evil? Nope. We live in this world, and we have bodies. Uh, we injure ourselves. Nah, vaccines are, and if it's coming from the correct mind, coming from the correct place, it's good. It's just like finding a good doctor or a not so good doctor. And the ones that are good doctors, they want to give and they want to know you. And it's the same thing with vaccine. The intent of it is to help people eradicate uh, injuries or sicknesses, or excuse me, sicknesses or stuff like that. That's my perception. Totally my perception. And when I was a little kid, I had vaccines, and they helped me. I know that they helped me, and other kids too. We weren't, fed little tiny chips to track us or anything else. It was just, or the devil or anything. Was, yeah, I'm not from the devil. God told me that, so maybe that is. No, just kidding, just kidding. No, I don't buy into that um, personally. And so, um, um, Allison, are they patented? I don't know what's patented. What you're referring to, Hunt. Um, Meredith, you have said that very wonderful about war. Uh, my perception, of things, and we are growing, and we need these things. Obviously, this is how we work things out in the world and within ourselves as well. And the old dies. The old dies, and there's a newness that comes forth, and it's how much we want to participate in that newness, and every time it just develops a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, time after time after time. And so good point, Meredith. Thank you so much. uh, uh, Lynn, thank you. Yes, most definitely, yes, about her. Yes, I understand. Allison, Gates is, I don't want to call anyone bad. We're all growing. Someone can call me bad or you bad or someone else bad because it's a belief system. And I just don't go into belief systems. I don't trust them. I don't, I don't distrust anyone until I see they're not giving fruits to the world in some way or another. And then it's not that I don't distrust them or trust them. It's just that they don't fit into my life or my values. And so I stay with these. I try not to judge people. And, that's a big job in my life is not judging. Um, and very important for me personally. It's where I'm at in my life. Um, so in any case, nanoparticles. We have nanoparticles in us too. So um, all kinds of elements within us. Every element that's on Earth from our universe that we have within us. Um, so, all right. Anyone, please, anything before we boogie here. Oh my God, it's a couple minutes left here. All right. What I'd like to do, if y'all don't mind, is just take a second, a minute or two, I should say, not a second. Um, what I'd like to do is to have you just get every damn thing out of your head, because that's what they are. They're damn. Any of the thoughts or worries or concerns or dilemmas or dramas or traumas or anything, just get them out for a minute and let them stay there, but and don't think that you're never going to have them again. Let them go over to the side for a moment, even half a foot away from you, and tell them to wait for a second. And what I'd like you to do is just to close your eyes and picture this big globule there. That's everything that's inside of you that comes through your thinking processes or dilemmas or dramas or traumas or whatever, and resistances or whatever. And just wait over there for just even a half a foot away or 3 feet away or whatever, wherever you can put it. And what I'd like you to do is to wonder if you can see if it'll be shown to you right now, and if not now, maybe later. But see if you can see it now, the goodness within you. That goodness is something wanting to love you, and it's the goodness within you. That's what gives you life, and it's waiting to be perceived. It's the goodness within you, that divinity within you, that is a part of you, but not separate from you. It's a part of you, but it's not separate from you, and it's within. Look at that goodness. Wonder about it. Wonder what it might be like in you, as far as how would it be in you? How is it in you? Just for a moment. It's like an essence. It's a presence within you. Notice it somewhere within you. It might be in your head, it might be in your belly, it might be in your heart. All right. Try this exercise often if you can, only for a minute or two, no more. No more. See what happens. See what happens. And then you'll begin to notice it more and more. Well, um, please, once again, as Lynn posted at the beginning, there's appointments. and please do take advantage of them. And there's the workshop coming up, and and that's on the 18th. And there's also mini classes coming up every other week. I'll be offering a mini class or something. Give me an idea of what you would like me to teach on in the mini classes or in the workshops. And if you shoot it to Lynn or me in an email or whatever, um, please do. And also, there's the gathering that's free, and there's also the mini classes are free as well. And there's also the healing circle that's free. And we have a healing circle, I believe it's next week, on next Tuesday at 6:30 my time. Uh, yes, on the 12th, Tuesday, the 12th at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, Mountain Standard Time. And I'm so glad you're here. Um, and if you want to go to the workshop or have an appointment with me and you have a financial difficulty, please talk to Lynn or me. And if you don't have financial difficulty, go, 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 go. Uh, you'll get so much out of it. It'll be eye-opening for the beginner student or for the advanced student. It doesn't matter. All right, my dear friends, God bless you and thank you so much for being here. Enjoy your lives. That's what they're for. Blessings, everyone.